Hey everybody, it's Patrick. It is Tuesday, and on Tuesdays we talk about long hair and hair care, hair issues, that sort of thing. Before we start, I did want to say thank you to a couple of people who were really nice to me this past week. Two channels actually gave me a shout out. Basically, they mentioned my channel and what I am all about, and that brought a bunch of people here. If you're here because of either one of these channels, thank you so much. I'm so glad to have you here. And I hope you stay. Those channels are, one is a channel called Shy Girl Gets Loud. That channel is really cool. It's a young woman who does, they're kind of skits, they're kind of comedy skits, but they're also just little things about her life, about things that she might be insecure about, or when she's unhappy, or when she is happy, what motivates her. She does a little skit about it, talks about her own kind of life advice to herself and also to you. So it kind of relates to me with this George the Self-Esteem Cat. She's kind of does the same sort of thing. And actually in her video that mentioned this channel, she said that George is her boyfriend, which George has told me he's very thrilled about. And the second one is Vickie Eisenstein. She is gosh, what does she do? She is a comedian, an actress, a vlogger, an interviewer. She does a twice a week news parody called The Lunch Crunch. From Chicago. I don't know if she's in Second City, but I think that she should be because she's really talented, and I think that she's probably going to wind up being someone we see on television or something in the future with her comedy, because I think she's very talented. So thank you both. It was really, really nice of you to do so. And I will put both of their channels below or somewhere around here so you can take a look. On to hair. One of the questions that I got over the past few weeks was if somebody asked me if I could talk about dandruff, which, hey, that's lots of fun, isn't it? Dandruff, what causes it, how to treat it, why we get it, isn't it annoying? I am someone who does happen to get dandruff once in a while. I think most people do. And so I did a little bit of research into it. And dandruff is a very common problem. It is more common in older males than it is in anybody else. We tend to get dandruff because of a couple of different conditions, which was interesting to me. I always thought it was all due to the same thing. So sometimes dandruff can be caused by underlying conditions, which could be diseases. It could be alopecia. It could be other skin conditions that could cause dandruff. So you may want to, if you are having severe dandruff problems, you may want to check with a dermatologist to see if those conditions exist for you. But for the most part, dandruff is a cosmetic condition that is something that happens to most of us due to things like dry skin. Dry skin is one of the main conditions of dandruff. If you have dry skin and it's flaking, if your skin is getting flaking and itching, generally during the winter months, you may be more prone to dandruff. One of the main causes of dandruff is a fungus, which is on top of your head, which causes your skin renewal cycle. Your skin renews itself. So when new skin forms on your scalp, anywhere else, the old skin flakes off. Normally we don't notice that on ourselves. You may see a little bit of flakiness, but it just comes off as you wash or just move around. With hair, it can get just trapped there. If it happens to happen more often, which this fungus apparently has something to do with that, it just builds up and becomes more visible. It's also just due to your skin renewing itself really quickly before the old skin starts to flake off. So it builds up, comes off the top of your head really quickly, and then it just shows up in your hair, shows up mostly on your shoulders, you know, if you're brushing it off. There are lots of treatments for it. I always thought that dandruff shampoo was dandruff shampoo, but it is not true. There are a number of different treatments that are available for dandruff, and depending on what condition you have, why it's causing this, you may want to use different types of treatment. So I thought I would talk about that for just a moment or two. So a treatment like Head and Shoulders, if you see an ingredient list that starts with zinc perithione, which I'm probably mispronouncing, zinc is the first word, so look for that. That is an antifungal. So what that does is it treats the fungus which can cause the scalp condition, gets rid of the fungus, and when that is gotten rid of, then you don't get as much of the flaky skin up at the top of your head, goes away. With this type of treatment, normally it is recommended that you use this treatment for a week or 2 weeks to begin with every day. And then you can go to a couple times a week or maybe even once a week. You don't need to use a dandruff shampoo every time you shampoo. It can actually be quite drying to your scalp, so be careful when you're using it. I tend to overuse dandruff shampoo when I'm seeing that I have dandruff. I figure just attack whatever, but it doesn't really work that way. So especially if you're using this type or the next type that I'll talk about. So the next type of shampoo is a salicylic acid. I think, again, all of these I'm probably mispronouncing. That would be like a Neutrogena T-Gel shampoo. That is basically a scrubber. What that does is it will just basically scrub away those skin cells that are flaking off and getting onto your hair. So basically what it's doing is it's just washing it away during the wash cycle of your hair. So as you rinse out your hair, all of that should come away. This one you should really be careful about using because this type of shampoo can severely dry your scalp. It is recommended that you use a conditioner that leaves behind a little bit of oil so that your scalp becomes more conditioned, and especially use that on the ends of your hair because it can be quite drying to your hair as well. So a tar-based shampoo, anything that says that it has coal tar in it, what that does is coal tar is a byproduct of mining coal, believe it or not. This is something that when applied to the scalp and left on the scalp for a bit of time can actually slow down the production, the dying off of your skin cells on top of your head. So it actually keeps your hair, your scalp a little bit fresher, I guess, for a length of time. So you don't slough off that many skin cells at a time. So again, this is very much like the zinc-based shampoos as well. You are going to want to leave that on your hair, on your scalp especially. Really work it into your scalp, especially if you have long hair. If you have a lot of hair, you're going to leave that on your scalp for a good 5 minutes or so, and then make sure you rinse it off completely. So if you have this type of issue, this will take care of that type of dandruff. There are also selenium sulfide shampoos. That's like a Selsun Blue type of shampoo. Like coal tar, this also can slow down the process of your hair, your scalp, I keep saying your hair, of your scalp renewing itself and sloughing off those dead skin cells. Once again, you're going to want to leave that on your scalp for a good amount of time. Don't just quickly rush it through your hair. Get it down to your scalp, leave it for 5 minutes, and then rinse it out completely. This doesn't dry out your scalp quite as much as the coal tar, but it does have an effect on lighter hair. It can tint lighter hair. So be very careful if you have blonde hair, gray hair, a light brown hair, because it can change the color of your hair. And so you may want to explore other options for that if you're using this product. As with any kind of condition that may be caused by a medical problem, by some sort of underlying disease, if you're finding that over-the-counter medications or over-the-counter treatments are not helping with your dandruff, you may want to talk to a dermatologist about it. There are some home treatments that you can look up as well that may be just as helpful for treating dandruff. You may want to look into whether if the over-the-counter medications or shampoos aren't doing it for you. You may want to see if that works for you instead. I don't have time in this video to go over them, but they all work in basically the same way. Either it is a more nature-based antifungal or a more nature-based something that will rest on your head and just calm down those skin cells from reactivating, re-renewing. So basically, dandruff is a problem that can be treated, and you can easily get rid of it if you take a little bit of time. Remember that it does take some shampooing in order to get rid of dandruff, and also brushing your hair. It's just a physical action. As you run a brush through your hair, you're basically taking whatever's at your scalp, your skin cells, the oils on your head, and you're just distributing it, either pulling it completely through your hair and out, or pulling it along your hair. The oil on top of your scalp can actually hold in some of the skin cells and trap them there so that they build up and can get there. So brush your hair quite frequently as well. That might also help. As always, thanks for watching. I'm here every Tuesday to talk about long hair. If you have any questions about long hair for men or for women or hair care in general, feel free to post them below. I'll do my best to research whatever I can on them. I'm also here on Thursdays. We make 3-ingredient recipes. I'm always joined by a friend. And on weekends, George and his friends talk about how to have good self-esteem. I'd be very happy if you would subscribe, comment, let me know if you like this video or not. And I will see you again, if not sooner, next week. Bye-bye.